What's up, Chad? How's it going, everybody? Oh, we got them just flying in today. Good to see everyone. Thank you. What's up, Chester? Fabian? Can't see everyone awesomely today. Lula Buckaroo. Man, I'm tired. We've been working hard, working double jobs. So thanks for noticing how horrible I look. I appreciate it. Plus, the kids started school this week, so you know how it is. You always hear from me, man. I appreciate it. So just wait for another 30 seconds or so. So it'll be myself and Chad, Cliff today. Yeah, Cliff, not Chad. Sorry. Chad, you're on my mind now. Myself and Cliff, and well, yeah, and you had it rougher than me, man. Welcome. Who's that? Navajo. Well, welcome to the group, man. So as I was saying, it'll be myself and Cliff. We're both doing kind of from two different perspectives. What I would do a little differently if I could start my LuLaRoe journey over, right? So my dream boat journey. I'm more from what I wish I would have known about the business, and how I could have helped my wife, that kind of thing, as to where mine's more like LuLaRoe company concentrated, and my man Cliff is definitely more from a personal level, things that he wished that he would have done. So I'm going to talk for about 15 minutes, take a little Q&A, and then we'll switch over to Cliff. He'll put his name a couple times in the comments so you guys know who to follow. But we'll go ahead and get started. Real quick about Dream Boats and kind of why we have it. It is part of Bobby's Dreamers, and there you go. That was easy. Thanks, Cliff. He's like, it's me. But it's part of Bobby's Dreamers. The page itself is only for men. It's somewhere that's safe for people to go and for men to go ask questions. No recruiting, no women, just straight answers. It's almost up to 250 members now in just under a month, which is amazing. We're looking to double that pretty soon because I think the support that we've been giving, the other guys out there has been fantastic. When I say we, I mean everybody. It's the group that's doing it. You don't have just 3-4 admins dominating the page. In fact, if anything, I would say the admins really try and give less advice out there. We always try and keep the culture the right way, but the members are there to support each other, and that's what's important about it. So if you're not part of it yet, please go to Bobby's Dream Boats on Facebook and join. We would love to have you, even if it's just there to read posts. So once again, I'm just kind of go over what what I wish I would have known about the company when I started, how it would have affected our journey so far. My wife onboarded in February, and I really hardcore jumped in just after convention. I drank the Kool-Aid. I mainlined the Kool-Aid out in California, and we've been jumping since there. So we've added 5 team members, and I think it's going to be a 6th one since California. My wife is cruise qualified just about every month other than July because of all the traveling we're doing. So it's been a pretty successful journey, and we're really excited to see what the 4th quarter is going to bring. So the top 10 things, right? David Letterman. Top 10 things that I wish I would have known or I would have done differently. Number 10, they're called leggings. Okay, they're not tights. They're not yoga pants or stretch pants. They're called leggings. So make sure you know to call them leggings, because I didn't for a while, and it was really upsetting her, and I didn't know. Number 9, you too can book parties. So gentlemen, it's not only for the ladies in the business. to book parties. In fact, I just booked one with our football organization. We needed another fundraiser for the month of October, and I helped run our football group out here in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and they needed a fundraiser. It fell through, so we jumped right in. We got that. We're traveling up to Buffalo. Party. Somebody got. Plan came up. I don't know exactly what happened, but in order for us to drive 6 hours, we need more parties. So I called my aunt and I asked her, and she was happy to do it. So you can book parties too. Number 8, this will change how my wife and I see each other. So not only how often we see each other, because when she's working more, you don't see her as much, but how much you can respect her, and especially as a new side of her comes out, a new sense of security, a new sense of empowerment. So that's really cool to see your wife that way. But when you start to respect her, you'd be amazed the way that she sees you. So that's number 8. And any questions or stuff, you guys can jump in, or we can do it at the end, however you want it. Number 7, definitely a big mistake that we just improved on. Use your upline. So if you have a question, you need something, you're part of an amazing team, you're part of an amazing company, everyone's here to help each other succeed. So if you need an answer and your immediate sponsor isn't there, go a step up. Find somebody, get on a page, get an answer. But use your upline. Don't waste your time trying to think of the answers yourself, because it either probably isn't exactly what is going to be the most successful, or you're just going to spend a lot of time trying to figure out where somebody with experience can help you with that. Number 6, and kind of along the same page, just remember that not all consultants are the same. So if that's to pick a sponsor, to have a multi with somebody, somebody that your wife's hanging out with, whatever it is, everyone has a different personality. This is a very large company. And it's growing more and more. It's a group of dynamic women, dynamic people. So everyone's going to be a little bit different. So make sure that you're conscientious of that. And treat everyone with respect, but just understand that everyone's a little different. So number 5, one of the things I would definitely do is I'd realize that this is not your average multi-level marketing opportunity. I have quite a few friends that are in other companies. I have a cousin who's been in ACN for over 10 years. It's done very well, but I thought that I knew what LuLaRoe is all about just because they were multi-level marketing, and it's not. There's no other company that I know of where you can just sell products and be very, very successful, where you can build teams if you choose to. There's so many different ways. There's no dues. Literally, all of your money is going towards your business. So, this is one of those companies that it's more like a franchise than it is, that you're a consultant. So, Mark said it before. It's more like owning a Subway than being an Avon rep. I think that's a great way to think of it, because it truly is your business. Number 4, something I've started doing recently, and it feels so good that I wish I would have done it from the very beginning, and that's help empower women. Okay? When you can make a woman feel good, whether it be because she's getting a new outfit, and you can tell her that you genuinely think, hey, you look pretty right now, or you have somebody who's living with their dad and they need to get out of the house. They need to get out of that and start a new life for themselves, or maybe something happened and they're in a bad way, and now they need an outlet to go and find a new way in life to bless their lives. It's amazing when you can do that for somebody. When you do it for a woman, it feels even better, to me, at least in this company. Number 3, treat this business as a business. I talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago. I cannot express it enough. This is not a hobby. It's not a side job. It could be a second job, right? So I work full-time. My wife works the business full-time, but there's plenty of people out there that work full-time and still treat this as a business. And if you want to be successful, that is my number 1 recommendation to you. Have business, have goals, have a business plan in place. strategize, know what you're going to offer. Me and my wife were just talking about it today. She's doing really well with outfits of the day, and I'm like, well, what are we doing on Thursday? Or no, today's Wednesday. So what are we doing on Friday? She goes, oh, I didn't plan out that far. Well, you have to, because it's a business. It's not a hobby. So it's very important. Treat this business as a business. That's one of the things I really, really wish I would have done. And then something that I picked up in California at the convention, also from Mark, know your value. So I know what my value is to this business. Is it going to the post office sometimes? Is it carrying IKEA bags in and out? Is it setting up parties? It absolutely is. That's part of it. But that's just contributing to the business. What my value is I'm very good at strategizing. I'm very good at building teams. I'm very good at holding people accountable and putting training in. So, yeah, well, I think that's all our job, shipping. But that's something that I didn't bring to the table immediately when my wife started the business. And I've been doing it for 20 years. And literally, she's like, wow, is this what you do? Because you're really good at it. I'm like, well, thanks. It only took you 20 years and a pair of leggings to figure that out. But it's important to know your value, and it's important that your partner knows your value. And then the last thing, and this has really come recently too, and this has been thanks to, I had quite a few conversations, personal conversations. My wife jokes about it, my new best friend. Manessa has been an amazing, amazing inspiration. And we have a lot of conversations, and what she always says is the same thing that you hear come out of Deanne's mouth 100 times in a conversation, right? You got to be changing lives and blessing families. If you truly are doing this to help others, if you're truly doing it to make people feel better, to show them the opportunity because it can change their lives, if you're doing it because the reward that you get, you'll be able to bestow blessings on other people, you're going to be successful. What's that level of success? I don't know. It's different for everybody. But if that's the reason you're doing it, if it's not to put an extra $20 in your pocket, but it's truly to, help change lives and bless families, then I think you're going to be very successful in this business. So those are the 10 things that I had. We got about 3 or 4 minutes before we flip over to Cliff. If anybody had any questions for me or any feedback on my fabulous top 10 list. I'm betting Chad's going to have a question for me, because he always does. Everybody's got you there, Cliffy. If nobody loves me with any questions, we'll switch over to you soon. Thank you for all the hearts, by the way. I appreciate it. And honey, only one person told me I looked horribly tired. So. I said I could do the business stuff and she would sell. Yeah, that's kind of how we have it set up. From a male perspective, is there anything I can do? All right, so I missed the male perspective part. How big's our inventory? Right now we're sitting at about 950 pieces. It gets all the way up to 1,200. But my wife's really, really good at stacking like 4 or 5 in-homes. I'll get to how much did you start with in a second. And how many hours. So I got those 2 racked. So we're getting back up to 1,200, especially with these months coming up. We have a ton of parties, and we're gonna stay that way. And it was how many hours do I work personally in the business? At this point, it's about 15 to 20, and it's probably going to go up from there. Most of our weekend is taken up that way. I also participate in the one-on-ones for our teams, and then any of the opportunity calls. So if somebody's interested in the business, my wife works we'll call it the fashion side of it, right? She's the face of it. Thank God she's the face of it, because if I was, we'd be bankrupt. But my dog just took off to this room. And then I work the back end. So, people are going to have questions on both sides, especially partnerships. So, I do more of the back end stuff in the training. And there was one other question that I forgot. Do you remember? We did the inventory one.
Did you start off with?
Oh, did we start off with? We actually, hey, look who's here. Manessa, I was just talking really good about you, and So I don't look horribly tired. Thank you. Vanessa, I was talking nice about you. You're going to have to watch the replay. And yes, I will get to the tips for building downline in a second. So we started with the initial package. Now, I promise, we started with the initial package and we built up from there. We definitely reinvested into the inventory. One of the things that I wish we could have done, can you remember that, Chris? One of the things that I wish we could have done is for every 20 pieces we sold, we bought 33. That's something that has been a little bit more of thought since I would say June or so. If we would have done that right off the bat, our inventory would have got to 1,100 a lot faster. We did a lot of depletion and then back up, depletion, back up. But that is definitely the way I would do it, is the 20 and then 33. And I know there's a question on the downline, right?
How many of each size do you recommend before you add a new style?
So remember that one. There was a question, how do you build your downline? How long did it take you? It took us 10 days. My wife, in 10 days and 3 parties, we paid off. And we made $1,400. So the initial investment for us was about $6,400. She made $7,800 in 10 parties. So, and the funny thing was, she didn't even know it.
Not 10 parties.
No, in 10 days. In 10 days. So, going back to the downline stuff, though, yeah. And by the way, I'm doing the numbers. I'm like, Chris, you made $1,400, and she started crying. She was bawling. I'm like, what's wrong with you? You're happy, right? She goes, oh my God, I worked so hard. I only made $1,400. And I'm like, no, you already made all your money back. Plus, you made $1,400. So then she was laughing and crying, doing that girl thing at the same time. Getting back to the downline question. The way you build your downline is 2 ways. Have in-home parties. If you have in-home parties and you put yourself out there and you have relationships with people, okay? Like actually at our parties, my wife she's all over the place styling and putting her hand up girls' dresses, and it's amazing. I don't even know how she does it. And then I do the checkout. So then if somebody's interested in the opportunity, we'll talk about it right there. But that's 2 things. Have the in-home party and talk about the opportunity. If you're excited about it and you're telling everyone how much you love it, right, then everyone else is going to love it the same way. Cliff, I'm sorry, I'm getting questions hot and heavy here. So put it out there, that you want to build a team, because not everyone in LuLaRoe wants to. Talk to your leadership. But most importantly, do not build a team to make money. When you build a team, you will make money. Do you approach people to start their own, or let? On the same thing. I just put it out there that the opportunity is there, and that's what. I don't want to talk to you about our business. I don't want to pitch something to you. If you want to know about the opportunity, let's have a conversation. So we had 2 people that just signed up this week. They're going to sign up like in January. I talked to them in an in-home. I'll get right to that. So I talked to them in an in-home, and this is all I said was, so you guys enjoy paying for your clothes, or would you like some free ones? Is usually one of the jokes that I put out there. And like, oh, of course we like free clothes. Okay, well, let's book a party. Or would you like to become a consultant? And they're like, well, actually, we've been talking about that. And we would like to talk to you and Christina about it, because we really like how you guys handle yourselves. And this is when we had just gotten back. We wound up talking to them a couple different times. I was actually talking to both of them and didn't know that they were the partnership. Yeah, and then they both got on the phone. I'm like, oh, I know you guys. But anyway, they just signed up this week. So I would just say, put the opportunity out there. If people want numbers, give them numbers. If they want answers, don't BS them. Because if you give somebody crap, that's what they're going to give you back. So if you just tell people what they want to hear so they get signed up, like, oh, you can be successful at 3 or 4 hours a week. Oh, I absolutely. Yeah, I always. In fact, Christina I just got new marks in today. Did that dance look good, or I look like a goof? No, it was horrible. All right.
How many of each size do you recommend before you add a new style?
I will get right. Yeah, so I do wear the products.
Not today.
Bobby's Dream Boats. So, Bobby Dreamer. Oh, you're talking to. I'm sorry. I always forget when Vanessa's on. I get very popular. So how many pieces of each size? This is also kind of going back to what we learned as we grew. I would say 9 to 10 pieces of each size. You want to grow. My wife is giving me hints. You want to grow wide and what, honey? You want to go wide and then out. And she's not talking about hips. She means the inventory itself. So figure out, don't carry every style. I wouldn't say, specialize in the things that you have. And then have 9 or 12. It's like I got cue cards back here. No, have 9 or 12 pieces in each side. So of course, some of the larger sizes, if you don't have larger clientele, then maybe that's only 3 or 4. And no? No? She said no. All right. Somebody should have asked her. Remember when Alicia came and saved Cliff a couple weeks ago? That should happen right now. But the other important reason that I don't think you should carry all the styles is you need to know your styles. So I'm even starting to know my wife's elevator pitch. But when somebody comes into the party, thank you. When somebody comes into the party, I know. Okay.
Whoop, whoop, I agree.
Sorry. That's why you don't ask me. Thank you, Vanessa, for saving me on this one. But when somebody comes into a party, Christina will always introduce herself and kind of go through what everything is. So this is a Sarah, this is your Maxie, and then it always costs me something when you help. Just a little bit of laughter usually. But this is so Chris will take them through everything, and that's the other nice thing. When I do checkout, she's then able to stay on the floor so that once you get that rush in, she can stop and have a quick soda or pop or whatever you guys want to call it. And then we're able to check everyone out. Did I miss anything else, honey?
Yes.
Awesome. You notice how
advertise anywhere, or is it all word of mouth?
So a little bit of both. Facebook, Instagram, make sure you have your Facebook business page. So going back to if you want to build a team, you have to have a Facebook business page. Have your Facebook business page and your VIP. Have your Instagram. That is advertising, guys. You don't have to pay for stuff. Put yourself out there. Hashtags. Oh, use hashtags.
Yeah.
So actually, I think Vanessa just did a fantastic training on it last night. So if you can have access to her Zoom, her social media stuff was fantastic. Went like an hour and a half. But so remember, social media is advertising. Word of mouth is fantastic advertising. So when you're at a party with somebody and they like the products they have and they buy 4 or 5, we had somebody buy 19 things. Make sure they're telling other people. When your hostesses get free stuff, celebrate at the party. Whenever we get to the 10th piece, we have the person who bought the 10th piece find the hostess and give her a high five. It's Vanessa. Cliffy. I believe it's Bobby's Dreamers. So, Butterbridge is even on. This is fantastic. So, anyway, sorry. I'm getting distracted a little bit. Where was I at? I lost it. No? You can't hit rewind? That's fine.
Advertising.
Oh, advertising. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so now we built up a good following on our group page, and I am going to look into Facebook advertising right now. So you can do it on a pay-per-click, by the way, not pay-per-click, pay-per-click system. You can spend, $10, $15 and just see if it's worth it. It helps you to target certain areas. But I wouldn't do that until you have a very well-established business page. So like all the Periscopes we've been doing, that keeps going up there. Christina's done a bunch of fantastic things. So I think our business page is ready for it. The other nice thing with the business page is make sure you have people give you testimonials. So somebody's like, oh my God, I love your party. Just like when you go to a restaurant and you're like, oh, you gave us great service. Like, oh, please fill out a survey. So if somebody loved your party, they're having a fantastic time, make sure that they're going to the page and leaving a review, either a video or a paper one. But, huh? Oh, thank you for all the sharing. My wife always reminds me to be polite. Um, Anything else? We got Cliffy coming up. Oh, look, everyone keeps inviting followers.
Any other words of wisdom?
Any other words of wisdom
Mm-hmm.
from me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, make sure that you always know that your wife is the most beautiful person at the party and that she knows you feel that way.
And we're always right.
That's awesome, man. Good luck being a QB, and any information that you need. What is your wife's info for the training stuff? My wife is at LuLaRoe, Christina, Krystyna. Hendry. Oh, you got your. We actually got a little cheater thing that we used in some of our other stuff. Here, I'll flip it for you so you can actually read it. Here, Chris, you got it. So they can read it. There you go, look at that. I did that for a different one. Isn't that professional?
All right, flip it around.
All right, we're flipping it back off of camera. So you can go there and we'll be happy to help anybody. Or, also go to the Dreamboats page. We're always happy to help there. Was there any other questions before we... You got it, man. Any other questions before Cliff takes over? But like I said, anyone who wasn't here in the beginning, it's Cliff Gauthier that'll be taking over. It's Alicia's husband. He's fantastic. He's been in a lot longer than me, and we went over our list together, and his are kind of more personal reasons for things that he would have liked to done. Right there. There he is. Cliffy at LuLaRoe Dreamboats. What did I say? I probably said Alicia, didn't I? I didn't say Ashley. Please don't tell her I don't need an armbar right now. All right, I just got back into training. My hamstring just got better, so I don't need her kicking my butt. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and we'll end this and go over to Cliff. I can't wait to see what he has in store for us. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Have a great night. You'll get it right. How do? Oh, swipe down, right? Oh, Chris.